It's Friday, August 20th, 2021, and you're watching the Paper Call Report, brought to you by OfferVault, the largest affiliate offer directory in the universe. First, we have our top categories. Home services claimed the top spot on the top categories list by a landslide this week. Legal overtook insurance for second place. Personal insurance, which remained in fourth place, pulled further ahead of financial services, which stayed in fifth place. Now it's time for our top offers. Addiction marketing specialists claimed first place while Live Calls Network took second with its auto accident campaign. Aragon Advertising claimed third place with its IRS tax debt relief campaign and also claimed fourth place with another tax debt relief campaign. Palo placed fifth with its personal injury and motor vehicle accident campaign. For direct links to the OfferVault campaigns, verticals, and more, be sure to check out the Ringba blog for all the details. A link will be available in the comments below. Now it's time for our top networks. Hyper-Target Marketing and LeadSmart went head-to-head, but Hyper-Target Marketing remained in first place again this week. Aragon Advertising climbed to third place as eLocal climbed to fourth place. Market Call claimed the fifth position. This week, all 5 of the top 5 pay-per-call networks are Ringba customers. We'd like to thank our friends over at OfferVault for providing us with up-to-the-minute market data, as well as helping us analyze the latest changes in the pay-per-call industry. Now it's time for our pay-per-call trends. For more market insights, we turn to our industry expert, Bill Sommerville, founder of PolicyBind. Bill, what's the most important thing to know when dealing with open enrollment?
So I think if it's your first open enrollment, the most important part of this race is understanding when the gun goes off. So there are 2 different kinds of enrollment periods. The first enrollment period, we all know it as open enrollment period. That's going to cater more towards the what we call U65, so under 65 consumer that's looking for health insurance for themselves and their families. That starts on the 1st of November and goes to the 15th of December. Second thing is annual enrollment period. So annual enrollment period is going to be 065 or Medicare. So these are people that are over the age of 65 or qualified for Medicare products. Specifically, this is going to cater to Medicare Advantage. I know, and I speak to a lot of publishers and even some advertisers that will use the terminology MedSup, MedSup, MedSup. There's 2 different products. It's Med Advantage and MedSup. I could take a long time explaining these products to you, but there's going to be a link in the show notes where you can get a little bit more information on the difference between these 2 products. And that typically goes from October 15th. Some states will start slightly earlier, but most of them go off at October 15th and go until December 7th. There's also a special enrollment period that you can take a look at, and that's from the 1st of January in 2022, and it usually goes until March 31st, unless the powers that be decide to extend that as well. So take a look at that in the show notes, familiarize yourself with the difference between annual enrollment period, special enrollment period for Medicare, and then also the open enrollment period for under 65. I think for the most important thing to know, besides when these 2 different enrollment periods go off, is what your advertiser is going to be looking for. Are they going to be looking for U65 or O65? Some advertisers do both. Or do they want to do more Medicare or more under 65? Do they want to do more Med Advantage or MedSup? What geographical locations that they do the best in? That is always going to change because the licensing requirements can be difficult or more difficult in some states than they are in others, like California versus some of the other states. And knowing this stuff, like knowing what your advertiser is looking for, isn't just going to make a better experience for them, make your campaigns more successful, get your payouts higher, get your caps higher, but it's also going to make for a better experience on the consumer side. And that's really what it all comes down to. If you're giving the consumer an excellent experience, it's just going to move through to the advertiser, make things better for them, make things better for you. So that should always be, the focal point. And usually the advertiser can give you some of that information if you're asking the correct questions on your discovery calls when you're deciding whether or not to onboard them or not to onboard them. Just have a diversified advertiser portfolio. So have guys that are doing U65, have guys that are doing O65, guys that like people in specific states for both of those products, people that do more Advantage versus Med Sup, people that like more major medical versus limited or short-term medical. These are all questions that you'll gather in the discovery process when you're speaking to your advertisers. And if you don't have that diversification, again, a great opportunity to work with a network that has this advertiser portfolio that's diversified across the board so that you're not going to have any breakage on your calls. We all know that there's an incredibly small amount of time that the consumer is going to wait on hold before they just drop off and you completely lose that opportunity. You're still liable to Google or Facebook for your spend, but you just lost, potentially $30, $40, $50, $60 call that just hit the floor because you don't have that, front end biz dev that's going to, pull together these advertisers. So that's, always a good reason to work with a network. For Ringba, and I'll leave you on this final note, once you develop or pull together all this information from your advertisers, the instant caller profile is a phenomenal tool that Ringba has access to. It's going to enrich the data that you're going to pull in from the consumer as they're inbound dialing, and then you can use their call routing to decide, where you want to place this consumer so that they can have that great experience, and then the advertisers can get the types of consumers they're looking for and potentially even pay you more for somebody in a specific geographical location that meets a specific criteria. So again, win, 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 win situation. Instant caller profile, huge for us.
Thanks, Bill. Now it's time for our pay-per-call careers. The Ringba team is rapidly expanding, and we're looking to hire Vue user experience developers and senior .NET engineers. If you're interested in joining our innovative and client-oriented team, we'd love to hear from you. Send your email along with your resume to sales@ringba.com to learn more. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Paper Call Report. Be sure to tune in every Friday afternoon to stay on top of changes in the industry. If you're a Ringba customer and you'd like to be featured on the show, please contact your representative for more information. Ringba is the call tracking platform trusted by industry-leading pay-per-call companies. Connect your online marketing to your offline sales and get the data you need to drive revenue with Ringba. To learn more about how Ringba is changing the future of pay-per-call, visit www.ringba.com.